guys, it's Julie. Hello, everybody. I'm sorry I'm a tiny bit late to the party. I said I was going to be on at 10. It's like 10:05, and I'm sorry. I didn't want to come up here in my pajamas. So anyway, I guess I could, but anyway, I hope you guys are doing great and having a good morning. Today, we've been talking about, well, let me rewinding. Lifebuilders, simple tips to build a strong and healthy life on. And we're in our series about simple holiday tips. I mean, the holidays really can be one of the most stressful times of the year for most people. And there's a lot of factors that contribute to that. Our first tip was about what standard are you measuring yourself against? So give yourself a standard of grace, not perfection. And our second tip yesterday was talking about traditions. Are they stressing you out or are they helping you? And so we talked about if they're causing you stress, you gotta let them go. Even though our mom's hearts wants to hang on to them sometimes. And if your life is changing and circumstances are changing, sometimes you have to let it go. And today we're going to be talking about the number one stressor during the holidays for most people, and that is finances. So let's talk about some statistics. 1 out of 3 people will go into debt over Christmas. The majority of those people will not pay that debt off even in 5 months. In 5 months, they'll still be paying on the debt they made at Christmas, or they will still be just making minimum payments. The average time for people to pay off their Christmas debt from, let's say this year, would be in August. But guess what? Then you start all over again and you keep going into debt. It's like a year-round perpetual thing where you're paying for Christmas year-round. The average expenses that people expect to pay at Christmas now in the United States is around $850 a year. That's $850 extra. So if you're going from month to month and you're not having a lot of extra wiggle room, how about let's throw $800 on top of that? How does that work? It's a little bit insane. And so I was trying to do some research on what do people spend on average on their kids, and it was crazy. Some people spend $1,500 per kid, and then some people spend $100 a kid or $50 a kid. Some people would buy to draw names where they would not buy for everybody. Some people would only buy for their immediate family and make gifts for others. There's a lot of ways that people do Christmas or Hanukkah or the holidays. And so we wanted to talk a little bit about some tips for surviving that today. Does anybody out there find finances to be stressful at Christmas? I just wave your hand at me if it's something that stresses you out. To me, it is a little bit it's this extra thing. And we had one year, probably about 5 years ago. I don't know. It was 5 or 6. Yeah, it must have been 5 years ago. And we were so broke at Christmas. I mean, we were really broke. And you know how if you own your own business, you are only getting paid, your next check is coming in. You're only getting paid when that next check comes in. So sometimes people can owe you a lot of money, but you don't have it in your hand, and so you don't have that. And so a couple Christmases ago, we were really, really broke. And so our kids got 3 gifts each, and I am not exaggerating when I tell you that one of them was a package of gum. Each one got a package of gum and 2 other really cheap things. And Damien and I didn't get anything for each other, which is totally fine. It's about the kids anyway. We really don't care. But I did learn something interesting. I learned 2 interesting things that Christmas, and one of them was that our kids were devastated that we didn't have anything to open. And so I told Damien, okay, from now on, we need to have at least a small thing to open because they were little and they felt so sad for us, even though we didn't feel sad. They felt so sad for us. So we tried to have a little something to open. But number 2 that I learned was that we still had a great Christmas. It was okay. It's not about the gifts. It's not about what's under the tree. It's not about what's on the table. It's about who's around you. And we had a wonderful Christmas, a really sweet Christmas without all the trappings of everything. And it was really cool. So I just wanted to talk really quick. Today, the most important thing I want to say to you today is I want to give you permission. You don't need my permission, but I want you to know that it's okay to set a budget and stick with it. That is the most important thing, is that you find a budget that works for you. So whether it's $50 for your family or $500 or $5,000, you need to pick out something that works for you. What happens so often is we get trapped in the pressure of what our friends are buying, what our coworkers are buying, what our neighbors are buying. And I fall prey to that. I found myself falling prey to that this year. My friends were talking about, this, that, and the other thing that they're buying their kids. Well, guess what? We don't do that. So we usually spend around $100 per kid. And that's, for everything, and we're pretty cheap. So, but anyway, I found myself falling prey to that, like, oh shoot, maybe I should be buying them something more expensive. Maybe I should be buying them something pricey. I mean, and it depends on the year. One year we got them a piano for Christmas, It just depends on the year. It depends on where things are. But we don't really lavish our kids with gifts. That's just us, but we do that because one year we had like so many gifts. This is my topic for next time, by the way. This is a preview. We had so many gifts for them, and it was a waste of time and money because they didn't play with half of them. So anyway, after that, we're like, forget it. We're doing like small Christmases. Hey, I see Christine. I see Melanie. I hope you guys are doing well. Mental Happy. Hey, if you guys haven't followed Mental Happy, you should go follow them. They do these boxes, like boxes of happiness that you can send to people. And so anyway, go follow him. I think he's out of Florida, and I really appreciate them. And then Helena, hi, how are you? So anyway, there's some things that you can do to help alleviate the pressure on Christmas. One thing that we do is that we use our credit cards year long. We pay them off every month, but we save up the points. And so we use the points at Christmas to get, hi, Aunt Christine. We save up the points at Christmas to get gift cards, or like you can get a Visa card with, $200 on it or whatever it is that you get. So that's one way that we alleviate the pressure for our own finances. Another way is if you're planning on spending $850 at Christmas, that's the average for Christmas in the U.S., you could put in little by little throughout the year. I admire those people that can buy gifts throughout the year, and then they just like save them up. And then, because if you divide it into weeks, $850 divided by 52 weeks is only $16 a week. That's not a really big chunk. Weekly, that's like a few lattes, right? But, it takes discipline to do that. So I really admire the people that can do that and buy throughout the year. And then when Christmas time comes, it's not just a bam on their schedule. But also, what about homemade gifts? What about making fudge? We make this killer toffee. We always include it in our corporate gifts, and our clients are like, it's like crack. It's so good. Hey, Sarah. So you can think about making something. You can think about experiences like planning a hike and taking your family to special places. Hey, Sandy, taking your family to special places that are important to you as a couple. What if you did that? What if you went like, hey, this is where your dad and I met, and this is where we, he proposed, and this is where, I don't know, I'm just thinking off the cuff, but there's a lot of things that you can do that aren't going to be the things that are going to cost you a lot of money. But the biggest thing, again, that I want to say to you guys today is just make your budget and stick with it. What works for someone else, it might not work for you. And that's what I find is like a lot of things that work for a lot of other families, that's just not how we spend our money. It's not how we do our things. And it's okay. It's okay for you to do what works for you. Even if ever your friends think you're cheap or your friends think you're blowing money, it's like whatever works for you is the best thing to do. So just feel free in that, you guys, and don't feel that pressure to buy, the pressure to live up to everybody else's Christmas. And, feel free to just be who you are and do what works for your family, because the important thing is not what's under the tree. It's not what's on the table. The important thing is who is with you and what you're doing, and you're spending time together, you're loving each other, you're blessing someone with something, and you're getting the opportunity to give. And it really is better to give than to receive. And that's one of the best things about Christmas, is the ability to give something, whether it's even just a smile. You know what we do is fun is we take a package of M&Ms, that's like $3, and we leave them in our mailbox for our post office person, our mail lady, and then with a Christmas card. And she wrote us back a Christmas card last year with her name and everything. It was so sweet. So anyway, I hope that gives you some tips, some ideas about Christmas and finances, ways to kind of alleviate the pain that finances cause. It's just Do your thing. Oh, no, with the other thing. Oh yeah, family is truly the best gift to have. It really is. It really is. I'd love to see how do you deal with finances at Christmas time, or if you celebrate Hanukkah. We have a lot of clients that celebrate Hanukkah, so I always try not to say Christmas all the time, but anyway, I'd love to hear how you do it. Hey, Kevin. So anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and just remember, yeah, it's about who you're with. It's not about what's under the tree. You guys can make something fun and really great and inspiring, and just have a good time, even with something small. For the people that joined lately, I was saying that we had a Christmas a few years ago where we each had 3 gifts for the kids. Literally, we were so broke that one of the gifts was a package of gum. And like, really, we were like broke. But you know what? It was one of the sweetest Christmases we had, because we just focused on each other, and there wasn't a lot of extra stuff to get in the way. It wasn't the extra pressure of buying and stuff. So just decide what you can do and go for it. All right, love you all. See you tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to be talking about buying gifts for kids and a simple strategy to do that that will give you kind of a point of direction in that challenging topic. And in the link, I'm going to be putting a link to 100 gifts that you can buy for under $30 on Amazon. So I will talk to you guys later. May your minds be fierce and your hearts strong and your spirit brave today. Love you all. Bye.